You ever have that feeling that you're witnessing history in real time? It was like when Tyson actually swung that first knockout, or when you saw Michael Jordan fly through the air for the first time. Guys, wake up, pour the coffee, and buckle the hell up. Because right now, we're 5 races into the F1 season, and it couldn't be tighter. We are watching one of the greatest fights the sport's ever seen unfold. It's very rare. It's very rare you have 3 drivers compete for the championship. And such high stakes for both teams. And we're going to get into it in this episode today. Such high stakes, especially for Red Bull, because they lost their ticket to the chocolate factory. The man himself, Adrian Newey. And yet, funnily enough, they're still hanging on for dear life. Now, 5 races in, Piastri's on 3 wins. Verstappen on 1, Norris on 1 as well. Guys, if you're not excited about this, you're either dead or you're watching golf.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move. He's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.
All right, lads. Here's the deal. For the first time in what feels like forever, it's not just the Verstappen show anymore. It's not. It's completely turned 180 here. No more one-horse race. No more, Red Bull wins. Let's just call it a day, lads. Turn off the telly. We got a brawl, baby. Oscar Piastri, cool as a cucumber as in Melbourne, man. And this guy, 3 wins already under his belt. Lando Norris, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, huh? And finally, snatched a win for himself. I'm sure he's going to win a few more this year, I've no doubt, because the McLaren are very, very strong. And Verstappen, the 4-time king, well, the man who's been untouchable, he's hanging on for dear life by the goddamn skin of his balls, man. And let me tell you, that's when the real champions are made, when the crown starts to slip. Okay, let's back it up for a second here, lads. So Verstappen, he's been pretty much living on easy street for the last 4 years, let's be honest. Jeez. Crushing, dominating. Half the time I think he could have won in some races in reverse gear, one hand on the wheel, the other flipping through Spotify here, on his playlist. I mean, the guy, 4 titles, untouchable. The new Schumacher, the new Senna, the new Superman, that's what they're saying. I certainly wouldn't put him in the Schumacher and Senna and Fangio bracket, let me tell you that now. But he's bloody good, man. But here's the dirty little secret about being king. The longer you sit in that throne, the heavier the crown gets, man. And because you're the hunter, it's easier. It's fun. You're chasing. You're free. But when you're the hunted, sorry, guys, oh boy. The wolves are circling and they smell blood. 5 rounds in Red Bull, they're scraping, they're sweating, they're missing the golden boy Newey. They're desperately holding on. And let's not forget Adrian Newey, the mastermind, the Picasso of aerodynamics. He's gone at Aston Martin. In fact, we got a news update the other day. We thought, obviously a lot of us thought, that Adrian Newey would be really hands-on with this 2025 car. He's actually not. Now, there's no doubt about it, lads. Believe me, he is hands-on to a degree. If he can find something or if he spots something, he'll be getting on to the boys here in the team, right? But right now, this boy has literally packed up his suitcase. He's gone into the little dusty room down the back. They've got a new aerodynamic wind tunnel in Aston Martin right now. This is huge news, lads. Huge news. Massive news. Now Adrian Newey can roll up the sleeves and finally get to work. And he's putting all his effort into the 2026 car. I'm telling you guys, Alonso and Lance Stroll are going to be sitting there going, all right, because they know what's coming. They know they've got a very, very good chance of winning races next year and possibly winning the championship. Now, let's not get too carried away here either, okay? If they were that good, well, Peter, why aren't they dominating this year? Because it literally is like getting a new car here, lads. Adrian Newey coming on board, oh dear God. Now, let's not mistake this here. Adrian Newey, it took him years to get that Red Bull to the winning championship. It took him years to get there. So, yes, the guy's the wizard behind the curtain. Yes, he's the genius. But can he do it in 1 year? If any man can do it, He can do it. And you got a lot of confidence in this guy to deliver a result to the table here, because that's exactly what we're talking about. Adrian Newey, light on fire, bringing the gold dust to this team. Now, let's go back on to Oscar Piastri. Remember that name, boys, because he's clinical, ice cold. This kid is what you get if you mix Kimi Räikkönen's nerves with Alain Prost's precision. And he's not here to play. He's here to take Max's lunch money and leave without saying thank you. And then there's Lando Norris. Oh, sweet smiling Lando. The guy's a gent. He doesn't have it, man. He doesn't have that trained assassin killer when you put on that helmet. And I believe me, guys, he just doesn't have it. We were hoping he would, because he's such a nice guy. Now, don't get me wrong. He's aggressive. He's bloody fast. He'll get your result. But when the chips are down, can you rely on Lando Norris? And I hate saying it. I'd love to see Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri this year win the championship now. I was actually going for Fernando Alonso, but look, Alonso is struggling. He ain't anywhere. But Piastri versus Lando, I'm putting my money on Piastri. The guy's got 3 wins out of 5 already this year. He is kicking ass. And for Lando, for years people said he's fast, but he can't win. Well, he is winning. When a guy breaks that mental barrier, when he realizes he can do it, he's dangerous, like a dam bursting. But can Lando Norris... Is that what it comes down to here, guys? Does it come down to Lando just needs to break the camel's back? What is it that saying? Dumbass here. But you know what I mean? Maybe he's just got to get over that... The ghost, maybe. Now, maybe we're putting too much pressure on him here, because only last year was the first time really he's had a chance to get somewhere close in the championship. And let's be honest, McLaren screwed that up for him anyway, because they didn't have his back in Hungary last year when they should have been hunting down Verstappen for the title. But what did they do? No. Hey, Lando, slow down. Let Piastri through. They threw away the championship. So you can't blame... Well... You know something? There's no way I would have pulled over. No. So maybe we can blame Lando here. There is no goddamn way. If I was Lando Norris trying to hunt down Max Verstappen in the 2024 season for the title, and I'm way behind in points, I need every point I can get, and then all of a sudden for team orders, right? And Piastri didn't have really a chance to win the championship. Lando Norris in Hungary had a hard time to try and get the championship. But if they'd any chance to win the championship last year in 2024, it was Lando Norris. So you put all your money, you bet the house on Lando Norris that he has to get up to the top, and you give him every ounce of support. You don't go, hey lads, team orders, let Oscar through. And by the way, I love Oscar Piastri, but for the team, bunch of dumbasses, man. I'm sorry. And I'm a McLaren fan, okay? But you gotta admit, that was being an absolute dumbass. Zach Brown, this guy, the guy's giving me an ulcer, man. The guy's giving me an ulcer. I can't hack this fella, And oh god, where do I go with this? Hey, I know where we're gonna go with this. Let's change the subject. Ferrari. Now Ferrari, 5 rounds in, and they're doing what Ferrari does best at the moment, unfortunately. Looking great on Instagram and delivering heartbreak on a Sunday race. And they just don't have the car, lads. They just don't. In fact, I think they've even gone a little bit backward this year. They were hanging on. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, because I love Ferrari. I want them to do well. I want them to win. I'm not even a Hamilton fan, but yet I'd love to see Hamilton win in a Ferrari. It was great to see Hamilton win that sprint race this year. It was fantastic. Of course it was. But it wasn't the actual Grand Prix. Now, some people are wondering, how did he have such good pace in the sprint versus the long race? Well, kind of gave you a hint there. The sprint race is only a sprint. The long race, the sprint race is what, 25%? Just around 25% of the actual length of a Grand Prix. So, the team completely went all in for Hamilton there. Okay? They went completely all in to get Hamilton. They set the car up for that 25. Was it a 25 lap race? I can't remember. But they set the car up just for that short stint. So they knew that the car would start to go off. So if you had that setup that Hamilton had in the sprint race, if you put that setup in the Grand Prix itself, the car wouldn't have gone anywhere. The car would have been banjaxed after the 25 laps. Now, I get why they did it. They probably wanted, to just get a bit of momentum going here, okay? Bit of momentum. And they just put all their chips in with Hamilton. So they said, hey, look, we need to get this guy in a good position here. Maybe he's struggling a little bit. So to get Hamilton to sort of click into place, perhaps. Now, I did say about Hamilton, and I was wrong. Hands in the air, hand in the cookie jar, lads. I was wrong. I did think Hamilton would take about maybe 2, maybe 3 races at the start of the year. Clearly, I was absolutely wrong. Because the guy's experienced. He knows how to drive a car. And he still does. All right? And I'll give him that. For God's sake, he's a brilliant driver, you got to admit. But he is struggling right now. And you'd think he'd be there, but he's not. Now, he is kind of if you pay closely to his lap times, he's just off Charles Leclerc in general. If you put him on average, he's probably about a 10th, maybe a 10th and a half behind Charles Leclerc. Now, you might think that's nothing. That's a lifetime, lads, when it comes to racing. Believe me, I've come in from races at the end, and I'd be going, okay, so I'm in second position, Raj. Yeah, Raj would tell me, my engineer, yeah, you're 2 tenths off. I remember there was one time 2 tenths, and I nearly had my heart nearly dropped to my bottom of the stomach. It was unbelievable. I couldn't get over how slow I was. I thought my life was over. As in, there's no way I'm going to win this now. But now, unless I could actually race and get into the lead in the first lap or 2, yeah, that's a different story. But if the guy has any sort of pace and momentum, you're thinking 2 tenths, oh my God, it's over. So that's the thing for Hamilton, lads. The car's still dragging him through here, a hedgerow backwards. It's not that he's forgotten how to drive. Hell no. And now we head to Miami this weekend, lads. Now we're going to do a track preview of Miami in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. Miami, the fake marina, the fake celebrities, dickhead celebrities, the endless champagne, the most brutal high-pressure race of the year so far, some people are saying. Wow, don't know about that. But this track is quite good because every team knows this is kind of like the race that sets the tone for the rest of the year here. It kind of does. If Piastri wins again, if Lando wins again, if Max gets beat again, you'll feel the earthquake all the way from Monaco to Milton Keynes here. And Red Bull's empire, it'll start to creak and moan under its own weight. This race isn't just about points. It's about momentum. It's about psychology. Because winning is about the head more than the hands. Trust me, I've lived this. The moment you doubt yourself, the minute you feel those young wolves breathing down your neck, you got to be on your A game or you lose your game. So, who's my pick for Miami? Well, we'll get into that in the next couple of days. This is a tough one, man. Honestly, I think it's a toss-up. You could roll a dice between Piastri, Norris and Verstappen. Now, I will throw in the dark horse, and you might be thinking I'm mental when I say this. I'm going to throw in Ferrari here as well. Yeah, I know. Probably sounds crazy, right? Because Ferrari, they haven't done anything really this year. Nothing. So why would I be going for them? They've done quite well around Miami over the last few years. So I would put them in as the wild card here. But if I had to bet the house, really bet, I'm betting Piastri. Cool head, hot car, momentum on his side. An Aussie with nothing to lose is the most dangerous beast in motorsport. So buckle up, ladies and gents. Grab your popcorn and stop telling yourself it's just another season, because this is getting hot and heavy and juicy already, man. And you're not just watching a championship. We could be possibly watching a chapter of F1 history being written now, the way this championship is going. Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, 3 gladiators, 1 crown. And the most ruthless, breathtaking, skin-of-your-teeth battle we could have possibly seen in years. Don't blink, lads, because you might miss this moment that everything changes.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.